Okay. This is likely the last activity that I'm going to be talking about, unless I decide to impromptuly add any others between now and when it's due. Um, Basically, it's varsity lacrosse. Varsity lacrosse is kind of a technicality. I played on it in 10th and 11th grade, but that's kind of due to how funding worked for our school. Our school has varsity lacrosse only because there's not enough funding to have a teacher also run JV and pay for games and all that stuff. And also, the divisions in other schools don't work out that way, that the JV team would just get crushed. Um, it's kind of strange because it is such a young program in Red Hook. Like, it started in 2007, and then we've been section champs 2008, 2009, 2010, and maybe 2011. Fingers crossed. So, but that is very, very much largely due to the skill of Mr. Salino. He was a fantastic coach. I am a firm believer that if you gave him a season to work with a baby panda, he could teach it how to play lacrosse. Um, he's an amazing person. Um, that being said, on lacrosse, I'm just going to skip to learning outcome number 4, show perseverance and commitment. I was stuck on the all other team for all of 10th grade. Um, Basically, what that meant was, although I technically got the varsity letter, um, just for reference, the varsity lacrosse team in 10th grade started out with something like 60 people to start out with, and then he took roughly 28 to go on varsity, and then the other 32 or whatever just go to all others. And what that meant is we just practiced by ourselves, like throwing the ball at each other um, and shooting on the goal for like 2 hours and 15 minutes a day instead of doing anything else. Not to sound so dejected, but that wasn't that fun. But I did keep with it for that entire year. And I got better. Not that much better, but better. Um, so the next year, 11th grade, I also decided to stick with it. And I got really tight with a bunch of other people. Like, I technically that time I was not in all others and I got on varsity, but I still wasn't. I think that was just because of seniority, to be completely honest. Like, I'm athletic enough that I'm able to run and keep up with the other people very moderately easily, and I had enough willpower that I was going to do that. But due to some circumstances that you probably don't really care about, like my stick, I wasn't very accustomed to it, and I didn't practice with it very much. I was freaking awful. I couldn't catch, which you kind of need to do in every aspect of the game. Um, and that was like for 3 weeks or something. So anyway, going back to my story, um, I was technically on varsity, but I shouldn't have been because I couldn't do anything right. But I just kept with it because I insisted that it was a part of my form and not the stick's fault. And then it turned out to be the stick's fault because then the stick like broke, and then I got another one, and then I was fine. But by that point, I like couldn't have participated in any of the drills because I was awful. So I didn't really learn that much. But I for those 3 weeks, so I was at an inherent disadvantage. Not saying that I would have been better than anybody else. Um, just I don't know. So I didn't really. Um, I never got into the actual varsity aspect of the game, like the team. Um, I did get to play in a few games, but not for very long. I'm just thankful for the ability to play. And I don't know. I got really tight knit with a few other friends that were kind of on the same um, level as I was, like talented enough and had the running ability to make it onto varsity, but not actually play in the games legitimately. And that was really a challenge for me, um, keeping with it because it was the same way that year. Like 60 people started out, and then it was something like 24 at the end, and I don't know. I don't know. So increased awareness of my strengths and areas for growth. That that is an understatement. Um, I kind of just willpowered my way through it. It was more. I acknowledge that it's just being stubborn, but I think that's kind of what you need to be in order to be an athlete. Undertaking new challenges. Yeah, when you can't catch, and that is the most fundamental aspect of lacrosse, the entire game is a challenge. So I kept with that for the 2 years, and that wasn't. Well, sorry, that's an overstatement. Um, so anyway, that was. It eventually became fun. Like once I understood my problems, so that was good. Working collaboratively with others. Again, I got really tight knit with just a few other friends who were on the same level. Perseverance, commitment, blah. Developing new skills. Thank you, Mr. Salino. Honestly, like thank you because you helped a lot. Like I actually feel that if I put my mind to it, then I can eventually fix anything because that was like running into a wall repeatedly every day for 2 hours and 15 minutes and then eventually just making through. Um, so that was actually a really important lesson that I didn't really think of yet. Like I just made that up on the spot, but that is actually completely true. So yeah, that's my last reflection, I think. Um, bye.